Because we're based in the Southwest, many of the issues that we are dealing with have to do with front lines, climate change, catastrophe, or uranium mining, coal mining, nuclear weapons research. From a lot of these federal or institutional practices, it all flows downstream. As they say, shit rolls downhill. And the many people who are at the bottom of the hill are the indigenous communities that have been here before America was even born. The issues that we deal with concern those community folks who are fighting for freedom, for their basic human rights, for that justice that everyone deserves.
There's an imbalance all the way to our leaders, our recognized leaders, our voted leaders in our tribe. Money's been the main motivation.
Whatever way we can counteract that imbalance, then that's the work that we're striving for.
If it adapted the wrong way, we should have been adapting to living in those conditions, catching water, planting irrigations, having some kind of a commute system within the reservation. There's this train that goes in a big old circle from power plant to mine to power plant to mine to power, in this big circle. These corporations came here and built these railroads, built these machines, brought this business here, and we've been paying their light bills with our lives.
My name is Chris Shuey, and I've worked at Southwest Research and Information Center since 1981. The UNC tailings dam break and the tailings spill still ranks as the second largest release of radiation in a single accident in world history that's been recorded next to Chernobyl. It's the largest release of radioactive waste by volume in U.S. history. The liquids in the spill went all the way down into Arizona. They were last seen around Chambers in the Puerco River, which is a tributary of the Little Colorado River. And you have to understand that this is a uranium mill up here that used sulfuric and nitric acid to leach the uranium out of the ore. The only thing that they take out of the ore is the uranium, and all the other radioactive and heavy metals, contaminants remain in the ore and go back into here in this big tailings dump. 3.5 million tons of low-level radioactive waste in this area that is going to be there forever. This is now a very difficult place to identify as a permanent dump because all the sagebrush has grown up over it. There's been no comprehensive health study in any of the valley going down the river into Arizona.
At some point, the individuals have to take responsibility. We can't continue to hold their hands at every instance. I mean, if it's a reasonable, educated person would look at it and say, whoa, I need to move away from here. This is bad. I need to get my children out of here. I need to get to a safe place where there's clean water and my kids are safe and I'm safe and my grandparents are safe.
My father, he worked in the uranium mine and he worked in the milling, the actual milling up in Monticello and Mexican Hat area, Tuba City area. And then my father-in-law, he worked in Eureka, some of these uranium sites up in Colorado. And both of them, they passed away from the exposure that they received, radiation exposure that they received while they were working in the mines. They were never told that they were received this X amount of exposure is going to be a part of the health problem. The government was aware, the impact. And they also were aware that, if you just dump your mine waste just any location, there was going to be some environmental impact. They were aware of all these years. And I myself worked about a year underground. And I always wonder, what is going to be that impact on me? How is it going to affect me? And I look back, I asked for my results of my exposure record, and then I received it and it says 0. And I can always think, why 0? What does that mean? And some of the little exposure that I receive, I always have that concern. How is it going to be impacting me? How is it going to be affecting me in the future? And that was about close to 30 years now. And any time right now, am I expecting that exposure to, I'm going to be seeing some health impact from that.
There's many alternatives. For most indigenous people, they're really well known for their adaptivity, you know. The reservation has been using a lot of wind power from the very beginning because there's a lot of wells. There's a lot of windmills that have been pumping water long before there was electricity lines in the area, you know. So that's evidence right there that you have wind power, that it works.
The thing I love about renewable sources like wind is communities can essentially go off-grid. Even though they're still connected to the grid, they produce so much power with wind turbines or solar panels that they actually can be independent.
We've lived off the grid. That's how we're here. You know, it's possible.
Renewable energy is the energy of the future. It's not a fad. It's not some environmental hippie-based out of the garage sort of thing, although maybe 30 years ago it was something like that. This is the future of life on this planet, is renewable energy.
The United States itself is really pushing a greener economy, is what I think is what they're calling it, greener jobs, which is just a word, I feel like. I really hope they're really serious about it, you know, and as far as getting some of these alternative, sustainable, renewable energy.
The notion that renewable energy is not strong enough or not widespread enough to meet our society's energy needs is completely bogus.
I feel that the earth is scarred. There's the weak and then there's the strong. And that goes into colonization, which goes into internalized colonization amongst the community. And that's when you get to the community level, that's when things break apart. And that's where I feel a lot of the focus needs to be, is on the community, because as individuals, we're not able to make great change without one another.
I would love to just go home, but to have that idea, to have that notion in the back of my mind that you know, we're doing this to our earth, and then we're feeding this beast that's not going to quit until the resources are completely gone, and that's a real it's a reality for us. We're headed in that direction. And I can't just go home and ignore all that.
I've always believed that over the long haul, a sound and robust and healthy economy and a sound and healthy sustainable environment are actually complementary. There's this myth that somehow we can only have one or the other, and there's these trade-offs. And there's really no better demonstration of that myth than in this clean energy area. The eco in ecology and the eco in economics actually come from the same Greek root word oikos, meaning home, management of the home.
Re-educating, again, get away from the distractions out there and start making this future for not only ourselves, but the people to come, you know.